to the season 2 of Getting Random with Z Singleton. I'm super excited, y'all. I hope y'all see the whole new setup for y'all. It's not even for you guys. Yes, it is. It is for you guys because I was good with the first setup. But I figured let's make it a little bit nicer for the eyes to see. And, the random can just come from the two people, three, four people sitting here. So today I'm super hyped because I have on season 1, first episode, Lady on the Rocks, y'all.
Thank you, thank you.
I appreciate you coming here today. You have an awesome because I've read your bio and I just kind of read your page, your website, and just to see how much you're doing and it's really exciting. And you look really young, and I love the fact that you are a black woman doing it on your own, making things happen, and it's been about what 12 years. How many years has it been since you've
This
been?
year will be 10.
10 years,
Mm-hmm.
10 years. Oh, look it. I'm pushing you out into the future. Just
No
know
worries,
that.
no worries.
But you started bartending in 2009, right?
Correct.
And it went from where for you?
So I started bartending at like bars, lounges, restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started the actual business and became independent in 2014.
Okay. And when you decided to be, this is kind of going to go backwards really quick.
It's okay.
When you were younger, did you say like, "Oh, I want to be a bartender"? Like, what was your actual dream as a kid?
Not ever. This is like unexpected, that's for sure. But
Okay.
as a kid, I probably would have to ask my parents about that one. But in college,
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was aiming towards doing speech pathology.
Oh, so you
Being a
can fix the way I talk then, because sometimes better comes out like I'm from New York and I've never touched New York
I
in
do
my
it
life.
too. I do it too. Although I went to school for it, but hey, it
R-
is what it is. But
So, what brought you to bartending?
I actually took a pay cut at a job,
Mm-hmm.
and a lady that owns a bar
Mm-hmm.
offered me a position as a bartender at her establishment.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't drink. I don't know how to bartend. Like, that's not something I'd be able to do. I don't think I'm a good fit for this.
I love the fact that you're like, I don't drink, but you know what? Hey.
Yes.
You,
Bills needed to be paid. So I
right,
was like, let's try it.
right, right. And with it, you met people
Most
with
certainly.
bartending,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it grew. I don't want to tell you a story. I'm like, but that's where it grew, right? As far as
Mm-hmm.
deciding to do the company. So, a question I have for you is, what's something that has kind of like been, I won't say problematic, but you feel like it's very like, okay, this is a pet peeve for me, being that you own your own company, and you meet so many different people, different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
What's your pet
There's
peeve?
so many pet peeves. I don't even know where to start. I don't want to sound like a complainer. But
I won't tell.
I guess I'll start with working with certain clients.
Mhm.
Working with clients is a big deal. So
Mhm,
lack of
mhm.
communication makes it difficult for myself and my team
Right,
because we need to be prepared.
right.
And
Oh, I know
we're
about
representing ourselves and our brand.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not prepared because we're not receiving the proper information in a timely manner,
Right.
then it's hard for us to get the tools and supplies that we need to provide a superb experience for you and your guests.
Right.
So it could kind of make us look bad in the event that the
Mm-hmm.
client is not communicating, giving us all the details in time.
Right. Don't mess up my brand.
Right. That's how I feel.
Like you got come
So
on now.
I would say miscommunication for certain. Stories.
So, is there? Give me. I just have to ask. Is there one more?
Sure. I'm gonna give you a pet peeve with my staffing.
Oh.
So clients and staffing,
Uh-huh.
hand holding. So I don't like hand holding or coddling people. So that's very difficult for me. Like having to
Okay.
repeat myself
Mm-hmm.
and instructing them to do the same thing over and over again. Because it's most of our events are pretty much the same. It's just
Right.
a different menu,
Mm-hmm.
different menu, different location.
Okay.
But as
Okay.
far as our setup and how we present our bar and deliver the service is pretty much the same. So
Okay.
when my staff asks me the same questions every event, I get a little irritated by that.
Did you say look at your handbook? The employee handbook is right
Not
there.
even a handbook. Every event, I provide like a note,
Okay.
notes, and a list. So it gives you step by step direction of
Okay.
what we're serving, the recipes, the name of the drinks,
Mhm.
how to set it up, how to cut each garnish. But
Mhm.
everything that'll be there handwritten, they'll still
Oh, I mean, that some people
exactly,
just don't. I don't
exactly.
know. You ain't got it. But I like. But you still work with them
I
though.
do, I
So
do.
that's a positive as a leader, as a boss. Like you still try to help them out. But let's go back to something I really liked how you said. So when you have those events and the drinks are different, do you actually come up with those drinks?
Most of the time, yes. However, we do have instances where clients have sponsored liquor, and
Mm-hmm.
with sponsored liquor, sponsors want a certain recipe served
Oh, okay.
with their spirit. So,
Got it. I didn't know
oh
that.
yes,
Which, well, I guess that would make sense
they're like,
because
okay, we'll give you the liquor, but this is how we want you to make it.
right,
You
oh,
have to make this way, that way, and
but you've been doing your
so
thing
on
for
and so
so
forth.
long. I would be like, I'm a person that I believe, you know what, if people are in their craft, they're in it for a reason, and if they're making it and they're really highly recommended,
Hmm.
I'm gonna say, hey, these are the liqueurs that I like. These like hook it up, do what you want with it, and then I'm
Hmm.
gonna roll with it because I want your creative side to explode and everybody can be like, oh, okay, that's that person. But then I am different, so I don't know. But
I love that though because at one point I had a client that did provide their own menu and their own recipes.
mm-hmm.
But to me, they were so boring. They were like basic drinks. It was like the Spirit plus cranberry and orange juice, the
Mm-hmm.
Spirit plus soda water, the Spirit plus
Oh, so it was just
pineapple. What is
vodka, tonic,
it was
cranberry,
so
and
basic, and I was looking like this is a big event. This is what you want to serve the guests.
right.
So I did push that button. I was like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna try it.
Mm-hmm.
I told them, based on the type of client it was and the
Mm-hmm.
type of guest they would be expecting for such a huge event,
Right.
that they should consider doing a more crafty cocktail menu.
Mm-hmm. I
They
hope they
took
gave you a bonus.
they took that, not quite a bonus. They gave me a challenge. So they still didn't give me the freedom to do what I wanted to do. They just basically told their lead mixologist for their brand to give them more creative recipes.
Mm.
But with that, it was some recipes and ingredients that I myself wasn't that familiar with working with in my demographic of clients.
Right.
So it was a
See,
little funky.
look it, and I bet you that mixologist is getting paid too much for no reason. And you know what? I wonder if people just after they get paid more, like does the it become a little lazy, like
I
whatever
felt
you
away.
guys pay.
I felt away, but I learned. It was a learning experience. That's for certain.
Right. Would you
Hmm.
work with them again?
Oh, most certainly.
Oh, okay. Then
Hmm.
hey, that's all that matters.
Yes.
And we don't know who you are, but pay my girl. It's true. So okay, so I just kind of gonna look at my notes real quick and everything because you already told me that this was not you want to be a speech pathologist, and
Hmm.
this was a whole
You
different
know,
jam
you
for
know how
you.
it is in college. Going from speech therapy to
Girl,
nursing to
don't I know?
broadcasting.
Oh, see, look it. I know your journey because that's me all the time. Oh, I wonder if
Bartending was
I.
a hustle. That's what I thought it was, a hustle.
Right. Until, do you still think it's a hustle or do you think that
No,
it's like smooth now?
I've learned to scale the business, which was the biggest thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
trying to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the hardest things for me is not looking over my team's shoulder, making sure they're doing everything right and that it's representing my brand. Like I don't know how to relax and let go.
Right. I don't
So
think that's a bad thing, but then I am kind of that control freak too sometimes. And I just called you a control freak out loud.
it's okay. I am. I really am, and I accept that. I'm not even in denial.
You just want to know everything's right,
I
and
do.
you want to make sure, like you said, it's your brand,
Hmm.
and the people that are helping you or working with you is a part of that, and
Hmm.
so they have to do it right, and then everyone goes home smiling pretty much at the
Hmm.
same time, and we get those tips. Are tips good?
Oh, they're great. I have people on my team that have been with me since I started the brand. Although I started alone, once I started hiring,
Uh huh.
I have at least 5 people that's been with me since I started.
Mm. And
That's
how
for sure.
how
So at
was
least
the
7 years.
7?
Mhm.
That's dope.
7 years for them because it took me about 2 to 3 years to start adding people to the team.
But that says a lot for you because for 7 years to pass and you still have the same seven people with you, rocking with you. That's amazing. Like, what is it that you think that you bring that makes them be like, "I got you," sis, all the way through?
I think they just they're enjoying the ride. They're enjoying the ride with me, and they have faith in the brand. I think
Mm-hmm.
they have faith in what I have planned, and they see it becoming, a bigger and better business. And then the pay is great.
Man, you got room for one more?
I do.
Oh, we gonna talk
I
after
certainly
this.
am.
And I
I
am a drinker.
am.
So, what for somebody who is starting and really wanting to like actually, I don't want to just stay as a bartender. I got bigger dreams and moves. What would you suggest for them in the process of going there?
Hmm, not giving up. You have to stick with it. You have to enjoy the ups and the downs because it's not always going to be ups.
Right.
That's for certain. We
Mhm.
have our slow seasons just like any other large scale business, or,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's not consistent. That's for certain.
Mm.
So
It's that
just stick.
consistency part.
Yes, it is, and you
Mhm.
have to know how to market the brand,
Mhm.
and you have to provide your prices have to match the quality. Like, a lot
Okay.
of people try to start the business and they're like, oh, well, if Lady on the Rocks charges this, then I want to charge this too. But
That's not true.
I've
You
been in
started.
business 10 years, so I
Mhm.
know the game. I can charge what I charge,
Mhm.
and I know
Mhm.
I'm going to perform and deliver based on my prices.
You're
But
right.
if you're just starting, you
Mhm.
can't charge as much because there's still a lot you have to learn to grow and get there.
Right.
Not saying that you won't get there, because you will. You just got to stick with it. But
Mhm.
don't start so high. And that's how you'll build your clientele too, by starting in a reasonable price.
Mhm. So I know 4 years ago, we had the whole pandemic and
Dang,
everything,
that was
and
4 years
yeah, every time someone said that to me, and it was like almost like a moment for me because it just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like it. So much has happened since 2020. So
And still happening.
and still happening. It hasn't stopped, and it's not going to stop, unfortunately. But I know you said like things sometimes things are slow. So I know you are originated in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a point where you took the business somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and that was around 2020. How did that go for you as far as like the slowdown during pandemic and everything?
So it was a nightmare for the state that I moved to, which was Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
because I plan to do service in Las Vegas, not the actual product. So
Mm-hmm.
under my business, Lady on the Rocks, I have service, which is the bar catering, and then I have a product, which are the pre-mixed cocktails.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that eventually. I was gonna hit that because you got
Yes.
popsicles.
Yes.
I was like, oh, she is after my heart.
Mm-hmm. And they have fresh fruit in them.
Oh, see, if I was a lesbian, excuse me, I hope nobody takes that personal. Excuse me.
It is what it is.
Okay, sorry, y'all. Back to
No, no,
you.
it's okay. So with Vegas, I plan to do service there.
Hmm.
So it killed any type of service business. It even killed that business in Los Angeles where I started the business.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, so all I could do was focus on the product.
Hmm. Okay.
Product being the pre-mixed cocktails. Everybody was home. Everybody was having drinks. Like, that's one thing that sales grew in liquor. Like, it was hard for me to purchase liquor to make drinks for you guys to enjoy.
Oh, I'm not even
It
gonna front.
it
It
was
was every
crazy.
day was a drink. Like I know my kidneys, liver, stomach, brain, everything was like,
Mhm.
what is you doing to me
Mhm.
and why? But no, I know there was a point too that it's almost like alcohol became weed
Exactly.
because like people were going to like I remember going
For
to
sure.
someone's house to go pick up like little packages of like mixed alcohol.
Mhm.
I'm just telling on myself and
It's okay.
grandma, daddy. I know y'all watching, and my mom too, and she's really big on the alcohols. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I completely understand where you're coming from as far as just the pandemic and sales picking up in that way,
Mhm.
which is a good thing because
I
for
was able to
you.
take the show on the road. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I made cocktails and posted tours to where we went to different cities and different areas. We were shipping the drinks, so
Okay.
we made it happen. There was no service at the time, but there was definitely a product, and the
Mm.
product is what kept us afloat.
Oh
in
yeah, see,
2020.
y'all were hustling. You
Exactly.
was hustling like
Exactly.
straight
I
dope
had to. I
dealers.
had to.
I ain't mad at you.
And like they say, I read it somewhere on Instagram. I thought it was so funny, but they said liquor is like cocaine back in the in the 80s or whatever.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
was like, that is facts.
That it definite
Hmm.
facts. So I just want to go ahead and hit the random questions. So I think I put no. There was one more question for you. Just the fact that when I was just kind of looking over your information, saw so many mobile bartending tenders, and I was like, whoa, like, and don't get me wrong, because being doing a podcast, there's thousands of individuals who are doing podcasts right now. So it's like always that feeling of, well, what does that person bring that another person doesn't bring to the table? And do you ever have that moment where you feel like competition is there or there's not? Because there's actually a person called On the Rocks.
Funny that you mentioned them. So on the rocks, are you talking about the pre-mix cocktails?
Oh, they are. I'm not sure if they have premiums, but they are a mobile bartending
Oh,
company.
I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, but there is a, well,
They
since you
have a they
brought the
have a
flavor,
they
what?
have a pre-mix cocktail that's bottled and on the shelves.
Oh,
I found out about them after I had already started. Like a supporter sent me a picture and was like, "Is this your brand?" I was like, "No, not at all." So I started looking into it, and I just
mm-hmm.
thought it was a dope idea.
Right,
Like at the time, I was hustling. I'm not thinking shelves and making a career, or
right. I get
I'm
it.
not business minded at this stage in my life. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
You're not thinking LLCs,
no, not thinking.
trademarks, all that stuff. Yeah,
I'm
I get
thinking
it.
of
Mm-hmm.
making some money to pay my bills, and that's it. That's all.
Right.
But I did start looking into that business. Looks like we came out around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, their stuff was on the shelf, but I don't see them as competition. If anything, I see it as inspiration
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, I want to do that.
Right. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't many businesses that I'm familiar with because sometimes I just go to the liquor store and I just look on the shelves and I read the bottles and I see where it comes from and
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the new brands. Like
Right.
if I did dive into this market, what's out there already? What are the people missing? What do the people need?
Right.
So
Would you do that? Would you actually have you ever thought about making your own like
um,
brand as far as alcohol?
I tried with I tried after that. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
At the moment, it's sometimes I'm on it, sometimes I'm off of it. I'm very inconsistent with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's so many other businesses doing it now,
Right.
and
There
I felt
are.
like I approached a lot of these liquor companies prior to them creating and doing it on their own.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that's kind of like a not a slap in the face, but it just makes me feel some kind of way.
Like
But
kind of
after
like they took
pandemic,
your ideal.
yes, yes,
Oh, that's
because you
small.
can't bottle a product without having a partnership with that liquor
Mm-hmm.
company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I can just go purchase Hennessy and pre-batch it and sell it on the shelves without mentioning Hennessy and without Hennessy knowing and us having a partnership.
Right.
So
I wonder if you could just like actually write your ideal, and when you go into those meetings saying, "Hey, this is my ideal. Sign this piece because I dare you to try to
I
take
know
it
there's a
from me."
way, but like I said, I was young. This was what 7, 8 years ago. I didn't really know the game. I didn't know the business. It was just me throwing out ideas, but I was basically giving away all the free game. Clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and even if there were others doing it before me, which I'm pretty sure there were, I just wasn't aware of them.
Right. Right.
The only mobile bar company that I commend and that I looked up to when I started was Two Girls and a Drink. That was the only company I knew that was doing
I know them.
bar catering. Only company I knew doing it.
Mm.
After that,
It just started to explode.
mm-hmm,
Just
mm-hmm,
everybody. I mean, I looked at. I was like, oh, oh,
yes,
this list.
yes,
Okay, well,
everybody wants to be a bartender
yeah. Well, hey,
now.
it's it. I can see the easy money and everything in it. So, and I know I meet because I go to the San Diego festival, that wine and food festival. Have you ever been there?
No, I'm not familiar.
I would try that
Yeah.
if I just. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's always just a good thing to go to with your friends and just experience it, the whole process. But like I know a lot of individuals who have like companies, they actually, excuse me, they actually go there
Mm-hmm.
to kind of just see what new alcohols or wines are out there.
Nice.
And so I've been lucky to go at least 2 or 3 times, and so and then they always do like the pairing of foods also with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a nice experience, and it's on the harbor.
Okay.
So
Thank
yeah, you're welcome. And that's for also those who are viewing. If you just want a nice little Thursday
Invite me
through,
next time you go.
uh,
How about that?
look it, cause we neighbors, right? So it could happen. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that ever again. That in public that we are.
It's okay.
Don't want nobody trying to find nobody. So I'm just gonna go ahead and head straight to one more question
Mhm.
before we get to that little random draw right there.
Oh, that's what that is. That's the random jar.
That's the random draw.
I
Yes,
see.
I.
Okay.
That's my baby right there. But what's a drink that you would suggest? If I had a bottle of Hennessy and some ice, what's a drink that? And I said, oh, I just don't want to just go straight with it, which I know a lot of people like to do. I don't want no more hair on my chest, so I'm not gonna do that. So, what was something that you would suggest?
So I have two go-tos right now when it comes to cognac.
Mm-hmm.
I like a cognac mule. I'm not
Mm.
sure if you've had a Moscow mule or
Oh,
any
I
type
have.
of mule.
Oh, I love
So
mules.
you do like ginger.
Oh,
It is delicious.
there's a whole place called the State. I'm just telling you all that was
Oh my
the
goodness.
State has Moscow Mule Monday,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that.
and it's they're $6 drinks on
Mhm.
Mondays only, and baby,
If you like ginger, you can do so much with the mule. You don't have to
Mhm.
just do a standard vodka or a standard tequila. Um, Plus, with the vodka have different flavors.
Mhm.
So if you love pear, why not add like a Grey Goose? The Grey Goose pear
with ginger. Okay,
it'll change the whole
Grey Goose
game
pear.
for you.
I didn't know Grey Goose had a pear.
Oh, a lot of vodkas have a lot of different flavors.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm gonna give that a try
They
one
have a
day.
strawberry lemongrass. They have an orange
Mm.
blossom. Oh no, orange blossom would be the kettle one, but they have quite a few. They have a watermelon and basil.
I'm just so impressed when I hear like someone
It's
say,
so much.
"Did you ever drink when you were?"
So I won't say I don't drink. I'm just a lightweight and I don't consume much. So
Okay.
if I go out, I might have a cocktail or two.
Right.
Two
Right.
is kind of pushing. If I get a second, I'm a little beside myself. I'll probably have two sips and I'll pass it on to somebody else at the table
Okay.
just to be responsible. But I like to experiment. Like when I go out, I like to look at the menu and I like to try different things
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I don't have everything to try
Right.
everything at home.
Right.
So, and it gives me ideas. It inspires me.
This is bad. Do you ever get like judged the bartender?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And if I don't like a drink, I'll tell the bartender politely, like
Right.
what I might need them to add, or
Mhm.
can you
Mhm.
add a little more of this or a little more of that, squeeze a lime.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, they don't get mad though, right?
No, they don't
Okay.
take it personal because they know that everyone likes their drinks differently.
Right. Okay.
You have the people who say, "Oh, I want tequila and pineapple juice, splash of pineapple." Everybody's splash is different.
right.
Because
Exactly.
if I really give you a splash, you're like, "Oh no, you trying to kill me? Can you give me some more?" I'm like, "Well, that's my splash. That's my
Right.
version of a splash."
Exactly. Exactly.
So if I would have just made it the way I make it with the vodka, with
Mhm.
the tequila and pineapple, you probably would have been okay with it.
Right. Yeah. Because if
Because
you
I'm
give
not
me a
gonna put too
mimosa,
much juice.
if you give me a mimosa, I'm definitely tell you splash. And when I mean splash, you better be like, ew. Okay, next.
Just tell them to put your orange juice on the side and you add it yourself. Because everybody does not know how to.
Well, yeah, you're
know how
actually
you do it.
right.
Mhm.
I'm wasting people time when I do that, huh?
Not wasting their time, but if you don't want to send it back, or if you don't want to,
Mhm.
you're gonna have expectations every time, and it's not always gonna be right because everybody makes their drinks differently.
Mhm.
So to be on the safe side, you can always just order a glass of champagne, and instead of a shot of tequila, you just want a shot of orange juice. And
Right.
you can pour that in there.
As I go.
hmm
Great.
It's gonna last you however many mimosas you
There we
want.
go. I was about to say that's going. That thing will probably just sit just like this water sitting right here on this side, looking pretty. So okay, here we go. So this is the segment part where we go random. There are a total of 4 questions in the jar. This is from season 1, y'all. We just kind of flipping it all the way around. It don't matter who you are, what it is. You could be telling your origin story. You could be telling us about bartending. It does not matter. You will be giving random within your mix. So I will pull up the jar. I'm gonna close this up because it's
Hmm.
in my way. You
I don't know what I thought was in that jar.
thought it was an urn, huh?
I don't know what I thought it was.
Could you imagine? I was like, yeah, that's my Uncle Buck right there.
Please. Hey, Uncle Buck.
Interview over. So you're gonna pull out the jar, and we're gonna talk about it. All right, what we got? What we got?
How many of these are we pulling today?
Oh, it just depends on the flow.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
Who was your first heartbreak?
Oh, that's
That-
all you. I'm not gonna go there. We'll be here for about 3 hours if I go there and start talking about my first heartbreak.
My first heartbreak was my first boyfriend, my first relationship, my first serious one, because in high school they were just crushes.
Mhm.
I didn't consider them being like boyfriends. It wasn't a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a very strict father, so I wouldn't even dare have a boyfriend or try
Oh
in high
yeah.
school.
Mm-hmm.
So college, I would say my second year, that would have been my first heartbreak.
Okay. So because girl, I know about the strictness. Like I remember going into college and having like PTSD. Like basically, I was like, should I be talking to this boy right now on the phone? Like it was like, wait, am I gonna get in trouble? Like that's how I felt. Is that's how it was in your household, or?
Not necessarily. He was just very stern, and he meant business. He stood
Mhm.
on business. Like,
Right.
know this, know that, and I didn't do it. I was scared of my dad.
Right.
Not that he was abusive or anything,
Mhm.
but he was just very stern and
He was protective.
yes.
But
And even the guys at my school were scared of my dad. Like nobody even was interested in being my boyfriend. Like, oh, that's your daddy? Like we cool.
Was
Nobody wanted no problem. Your dad looked mean. That big man. I'm like, oh, okay.
right. Well, hey, I respect that. Did you have it where you couldn't call boys or boys couldn't call you?
No, I could talk to them on the phone.
See,
I can communicate with them.
so okay, so you lucked out with your
Mhm.
PTS because mine was complete like, oh, who's do not call this house.
Oh,
Like,
no.
yeah, it was shut
It
down.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's a whole social thing, that aspect of life that I say you shouldn't do that to kids because they need to be able to talk to the opposite sex. It's about a learning experience and really teaching them how to interact with them. Because when you kind of shut that down, what do you
Mhm.
have? You end up having
And parents got to let go a little bit and trust that they raised us properly.
exactly
Just
that's
a little bit.
just a little bit, but
Mhm.
yeah. So okay, he was the second year of college,
Mhm.
and how long did you guys date?
About 3 years.
Oh,
Yes.
and he was your first serious
Mhm.
boyfriend.
Mhm.
Oh
And
man.
of course, it was cheating. The
Oh,
usual.
dang. Like you just
But I'm not gonna sit here and
Jay
blast.
Anthony,
Well, you
how
know
could
what?
you do that?
I'm not gonna even blast him like it was his fault.
You cheated?
I cheated first, so it was his payback. So let me not make it seem like he's the bad guy. But that was heartbreaking.
For him? Wait, I'm so confused.
Yep.
What's happening?
Sorry, it was still a heartbreak. It's like I took you back. We worked on the things we needed to work on, and then, but I think he just got back with me for revenge. And it worked.
Oh,
It worked.
yeah,
But I was like, oh, never again.
yeah,
Cheating ain't for me. That ain't for everybody.
right,
And
yeah.
it wasn't even intentional. It wasn't,
I was like,
Yeah, shame on me.
you know what? You at least admit you know what? I ain't even mad at you. You on camera and you're like,
Oh yes.
this happened, and
No shame. And I was
respect
young.
you. Yeah, and you were young, yes. And since then, you are now more into
Oh, yeah.
monogamy and everything like that. Yeah, so am I guess. Yeah, sort of. So we're gonna go ahead and hit up another question. All right, I don't know. Do you want to know who my first heartbreak was? I'm
sure,
sorry. We
share.
should be sharing together, huh?
Sure, please.
My first heartbreak. Okay. This is like Ayana helped me with my life moment. So my first heartbreak was my mom. That was
Mm,
my first heartbreak.
okay.
Yeah, and we gonna cut it there. But yeah,
Got it.
unless you got a question,
That's
I'll let
deep.
you ask the
That's
question.
deep.
It's really deep.
Hmm.
it it wasn't a boy, even though those came later. But I would have to say,
Mm,
yeah, that was my first heartbreak.
okay.
So, and I don't. It wasn't done on purpose. It's
Right.
just, things happen. You're young. You're 6 years old.
Hmm.
Life goes
Hmm.
on. So let's go ahead and open up this jar one more time. One more again.
You want to pull for me this time, since we both answering the question?
We can do. I can do that. I
Why
can do
not?
that.
You can pull it and hand it to me if you like.
All right. This is long.
It's a long question.
It's a long question. Hold on. There you go. I'm gonna do you even one bigger while you read that. I'm gonna look it up.
There are lists of what should not happen on dates when
I'm
the
sorry.
individual shouldn't be in the.
She trying to read my handwriting, y'all, and
I am
sometimes it
so
is
sorry.
so it's not the best, and I keep
You were just
saying
rushing. You were just rushing when you wrote it.
I appreciate you. You know what? I can roll with you. We can go. I feel like we would have each other's back. That ain't it. That ain't the
You were
reason
just
why.
rushing
No.
because you have very nice penmanship, but
Uh, Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the first time I've ever heard that in my life. So pretty much what I'm saying there is last year in 2023, there were two lists that came out that were ridiculous, and one was for the males and one was for the females. Females brought up, oh well, he better not take me to no four restaurant or like
oh
low like
yeah,
what Applebee's,
oh yeah,
Cheesecake Factory. I dare you to take me to Cheesecake Factory
oh,
because I bet you'll get some at the end of the night. I'm just joking. No,
that
you
was
won't.
so embarrassing. I still want to know what this says
What's that part?
though.
Oh, dating world. In the dating
Oh,
world, yes.
got it.
So, and then we had the male list where it was like she shouldn't have kids, she shouldn't live by herself, which did not make sense to me. What you mean I shouldn't live by myself? You don't want me to have kids, you don't want me to be with anybody, but I shouldn't be living by myself either. Like, I'm a little confused about what that means.
They want you to fully rely on them to be a provider, or
I, I
I
guess
don't
I'm
know.
supposed to be living on the streets. I don't know because I
They want you to be a bum
and
bitch.
yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to get your opinion on it. It's just your opinion on
Mm.
what you feel about. Let's even. I mean, like again, that was last year's conversation,
Hmm.
but it's something that at the end of the day you got to think about. Like there are people that really still just because it was 2023 does not mean that they still don't think like that.
True indeed.
That is a huge character thing, and I'm trying not to judge because I believe in no judgment. Everybody rocks the way they rock.
um. Well, to start, I'm going to say I disagree.
Mhm.
Um. But to each his own.
Mhm.
I don't mind going. We can go have coffee, and I don't even drink coffee, but we can go to a Starbucks
Mhm.
because I need to see if there's chemistry first.
Right.
I'm not sure
Right.
if I want to go somewhere out in public with you and we don't even have a connection.
Mm. Mm.
Well, I might not even want to stay through the whole date, so we can do something simple, quick, easy, affordable,
Mhm.
and just see
Mhm.
how the conversation goes.
Right. And I've been. I agree with you on that because I've been on dates where like I'm like, okay, this can end.
That
I
part,
don't want to.
exactly, it's a
I don't
waste of
want to.
time.
Yeah, there's no point
So
of
why do we
being
need to
there.
go to Ruth Chris to figure out that we don't we don't sync? We
Right.
don't have much in common.
So you kind of agree then with the whole process of like where now because I think guys do this more than females do, where they do meet and greets before there's an actual date.
Okay.
So do you
I'm
think
not.
that's a good thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
How does the meet and greet work? Would it be at a small?
So it's kind of like how you said, let's
Oh,
go to
okay.
Starbucks, let's go somewhere and like have a drink, let's talk and
Ice
kind of,
cream,
yeah,
anything.
something simple and really see if this is something that we want. And then it goes into, I guess, more dates or
Right,
so on.
right. Mhm.
I just like, I don't know, I don't have a problem with going on a date. Like in the
Mm-mm.
sense of like, we can go eat really quick
Mhm.
to following that we can go dance at the
Right.
salsa club down the street. Like I'm that type of person.
Because if we connect at the first
Yeah,
place and we have
exactly.
time and we want to do something else, we can do
We can do that.
that.
So yeah. So I'm looking at my camera guy. Is it time? No. 10 more minutes. Oh, girl, we are on good time, huh? So, do you want to do one more question? Let's
Sure.
let's do one more
Sure.
question.
Come on.
I was trying to find of the list that came from 2023 that they had.
Staying friends with exes, family, and friends. Mm. Friends? Not quite. Like, if I see you in passing, I see you in passing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but I'm not really keeping in touch with them. I might tell them, maybe Happy Thanksgiving or
Mhm.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year around the holidays, and that's
Right.
about it. Keep it short.
So you're not. So once that relationship is over, so let's talk about Jay Anthony. I just gave him a name.
Okay.
Jay Anthony. He kind of like
Hmm.
3 years is a long time to really date somebody because then you like bond with like family
True
members and
indeed.
friends and stuff.
That's always hard.
Yeah, it's hard to walk away from that. So, it was easy for you to be able to actually do that.
No, it wasn't. I was still holding on, thinking that, something might be. So, no, it wasn't easy at all.
So, did you hold on to like the friend because the family because you thought it would still be something with
Hmm.
him?
Hmm.
Okay. I remember being judged because honestly I feel like I fell in love more with the family and friends than I did him. So
Interesting.
I was holding on to him to hold on to them.
Hmm.
And that's the opposite part of it. And so, but for many people who didn't know that's what my thought process was, it was like, oh, well, you because you want to stay with him and everything like that. No, it's really more of the other way around. Like I know that once this ends, it takes away everything.
Hmm.
Like it takes away the way we all hang out together, the way we all flow, the good feelings that come with it and everything. And so I just completely remember like I was like devastated. Like
Got it.
and then slowly at the end, I think as you kind of if you friends with a person, it don't matter
Hmm.
to me. Like okay, I feel very here we go. I feel like I'm about to be very what's that word where you have two different like it's like okay, I'm saying this but then I also do this too at the same time. So I am not a fan of guys staying friends with their exes.
No? Okay.
I am not a fan of it. Like I'm very much like I feel like oh if you stay friends with your ex that you gonna probably we get into it you'll probably go in.
Oh, like double
Yeah,
standards.
double standard. Thank you. See, there we go. Yeah, you could
I see.
double standard. So,
Mm.
but then at the same time, I know that I don't want like if I'm friends with a person, I want to be able to stay friends with them. And but I realize that you can also let go of your ex, and this is just something that you developed on your own, and you just have those friendships.
Well, I'm actually really good friends with his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, I met her through him while being with him,
Right.
and we're still friends to this day. Mind you, that relationship was 2 decades ago.
Right. Right.
But I'm also the godmother of her child, so
See.
it's like it's kind of sometimes it's hard for that. So when
Mm-hmm.
she has birthdays, I'm there. His family is there, so I
Right.
see all of them. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's no hard feelings. He's moved on with his life. I've moved on with my life.
He's
So
there
it's
too.
not. I haven't seen him as of lately. Just his kids.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. We on the
Basically,
same
yeah.
flow then
Hmm.
on that, but I think the part for me is I need to get rid of the part of the double standard where I'm like,
Yes. Yes.
Keisha, Nicole, Veronica, Guadalupe, none of them could be your
Yeah.
friends no more.
plus, I'm secure in the relationship that I'm
Right.
in now. He trusts me, I trust him. So,
Oh,
you know,
oh,
it's not a big deal. It's
I
not a
sound
deal breaker.
insecure,
Not necessarily.
huh?
That's
I'm
just, you
just
just
messing.
feel the way you feel. Like, it makes you feel a kind of way. Like,
I'm
no
just
thanks.
playing.
Okay.
Like I don't
Nah,
get,
I'm losing my
I don't get
headphones.
mad at all. So, just being a woman who is really, working, because even just talking with you, the few times we've talked, you're going left, right,
Mhm.
leaving. What do you do for your self care?
Hmm. Well, I thought manicures, pedicures, spa days, I considered those to be self. I considered that to be self care.
Mm-hmm,
But I'm learning that that's just maintenance. That's just something that those are like necessities. That's not really self care at this age and this
mm-hmm,
stage in my life. So
mm-hmm,
therapy is self care for me these days. Like I need to start talking to people. I need to journal. I need to write. I need to read my Bible. I need to,
mm-hmm,
I need to figure out who I am and what it
mm-hmm.
is that I want to do.
Right.
I've always been like a people pleaser, and I
Mm-hmm,
don't think I really realized that until I went to therapy. Like,
mm-hmm,
you're always doing for other people. You need to focus more on yourself.
mm.
So, therapy
Okay.
for me is figuring out who I am, what I want out of life, and living life for me and not living life to fulfill other people's desires for me.
Right. And you have it because, I mean, you're doing your thing. Your business is booming, but that doesn't always mean the inner part
Oh, for sure.
is taken care of. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's dope that you're on that journey right now
Mm-hmm.
to really finding yourself and working on yourself and
Mm-hmm.
loving yourself in that joy.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about joy, with someone, actually, my camera guy. We talked about joy, and the importance of it. And it's so interesting when you actually feel it. Like you're like, it's not about. I mean, happiness is important, but I really feel like joy is a meaningful word. Like
Mm-hmm.
you feel it in your soul
Mm-hmm.
when you're there. What are some things that you have tried so far to help with yourself, to help yourself? I know
Oh,
therapy, but
mainly the therapy, to be honest.
okay.
Also taking trips.
Mhm.
Um, considering doing like a retreat, a woman's retreat
Okay.
that's happening in Bali this summer.
Nice.
I
Okay.
think that'll be helpful as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just want to start doing more things by myself.
Mhm. Take
Mm-hmm.
pepper spray, a good knife that
Uh-huh.
they won't say you can't have on the flight. Just
Mm-hmm.
make sure
Mm-hmm.
because we need you back here.
For sure. I
but
want to come back.
but I respect your journey, and
Thank you.
I definitely wish you the best for it. And that it just, man, it's amazing. I know it. I started last year, and I'm still going, girl. I'm still
Keep
going.
going. Keep
I'm gonna
going.
keep going.
It's
I
all
have
on
no
you. All the
choice.
pressure is on you.
Yeah, that's it. It's me versus me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even I know I brought up like the whole thing of like podcasts or there being other
Mm-hmm.
bartending mobiles, like it's always gonna be me versus me or you
Yes.
versus you.
Yes.
And that at the end of the day everybody's gonna win.
Yes.
Everyone has somebody that, they prefer. We're all gonna win
And don't see others as competition.
though.
Like that's just a
Yes.
word for everybody in any industry. Like if somebody you think is doing better than you, just take notes, learn.
Right.
Like make yourself better.
Yeah, I
That's
agree with
pretty
you.
much it.
That I agree with you. So where can are you still doing your own product, by the way?
Not at the moment. I am not.
So no fruit bars, no. I
Mm-mm.
man,
No,
it's gonna.
I'm focusing on the service part of the business. I'll get back to the product. I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging because it's a demand. It's a high demand for it. So
Oh,
I will revisit
that's what's up. So where can they find you, Lady on the Rocks?
on Instagram, Lady on the Rocks underscore. I have a website www.ladyontherocks.com. Contact number is 661-34 rocks, or you can email us info@ladyontherocks.com.
All right, awesome. And again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
I hope you
me.
enjoyed yourself.
I did.
Awesome. Now, great. I'm so happy. Uh, I want to thank you all for watching. Till next Friday. Hey, give me your feedback. Tell me what you didn't like, what you did like. Thumbs up. Hit that little notification button. Ding, 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 ding. And till you see me next Friday, stay random and also show love. Bye.